All right, so today, let's dive into some serious positive vibes with The Energy Bus, this awesome book by Jon Gordon. It's about this guy, George, who's kind of stuck and really needs a change.
Yeah, and what's cool about the book is it doesn't just tell you to be positive forever.
Right.
It breaks down why it matters and gives you actual steps to make it happen in your own life.
Totally. We'll unpack those 10 rules in the book, find those golden nuggets, to help you guys listening power up your lives with like pure positive energy.
And it does it all with a story, which I love, makes it relatable.
Yeah.
So we meet George, our main guy, and he's got problems. Job's shaky, marriage is strained, and bam, flat tire on Monday morning.
Ugh. Classic Monday dread. Don't tell me you haven't been there. But the book mentions this wild statistic, right? More people actually die on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. than any other time.
Yep.
Crazy, huh?
No kidding. And that just shows how powerless a lot of people feel, especially in their jobs. Like adrift, no control. That can really make negativity take over.
Then comes Joy, this bus driver bursting with wisdom. George meets her because of the flat tire, of all things. She's like his guide, sharing her wisdom as these 10 rules for a better life. I love how a chance meeting can change everything.
For real. And Joy, she's got this radiant energy and challenges George to be the driver of his own life. Literally, that's rule #1 right there. You're the driver of your bus.
It's like realizing, hey, you're not just along for the ride. You get to choose where you're going, what you're working towards, even the soundtrack.
Deep stuff. And it connects to locus of control, a psych term, and people who feel in control. Those are the drivers, right? Others feel like things just happen to them, like they're being driven around with no say. Learning to take the wheel yourself, that's huge for being happy and achieving your goals.
It's about getting that power back and knowing you can steer your life where you want it to go. Joy, she helps George out by telling him to really define his vision.
Not just some vague idea either. A clear, strong vision. For his life, his work, even his relationships. Painting a picture of what he actually wants, not what he thinks he should want.
It's about those core values and dreams, right? Joy gives him a powerful exercise, too. My vision for my life is. My vision for my work is. My vision for my relationships is. And get this, it's not just some woo-woo thing. There's actual science behind visualizing like this.
Big time. Think about Olympic athletes, right? They visualize to up their game all the time. They see themselves winning, crossing that finish line, and that actually gets their minds and bodies ready to perform better. The best part, you can do this in your own life, too. Like crushing a work presentation or hitting some personal goal.
It's about getting your thoughts, actions, and energy all in line with that vision you set up. Which brings us to rule #2, and you need all three. Desire, vision, focus. Gotta have them all.
Yep. Wishing is one thing, even kind of knowing what you want, but you gotta have that sigh in your belly, that crystal clear picture, and be completely focused to actually make it real. Like you're programming your mind for success.
Yeah. It's about giving your energy to what truly matters. And to do that, you need the right kind of fuel. Which brings us to, you guessed it, rule #3. Fuel your ride with positive energy. What we think and feel has a huge impact on what we experience, right?
Exactly. It's like choosing between high-octane stuff and like sludge for your bus. Positive energy is that premium fuel. Your engine runs smooth. Negativity, that's the sludge gunking everything up, holding you back. And this isn't just some theory. The book talks about how negativity actually costs businesses billions every year in lost productivity. Billions.
Wow, no kidding. Negativity can really sneak up on you, too. It affects how happy we are, how productive, even our relationships. Imagine what we could do if we all just shifted that energy towards being positive and working together.
Totally. The book uses this example with two dogs, a positive one and a negative one. They're always battling inside us.
Oh, yeah, I loved that analogy. It's so true. There's that back and forth in all of us, positive against negative. And they're both fighting for our attention, our energy, and basically our happiness.
And the thing is, the one you feed the most, that's the one that wins. Every single day we have a choice, right? Do we feed the negative dog with worry, doubts, and being hard on ourselves? Or do we give the positive dog some love with gratitude, self-compassion, and focusing on solutions?
Being aware of what we let into our minds is so important. The stuff we read, the people we hang out with, how we talk to ourselves. Are we feeding the positive or accidentally making the negative stronger?
It's not just us either. What's going on around us really affects our energy too.
For sure. We can't forget about those energy vampires, right? They just love negativity. You know the type. They suck the energy out of everyone around them.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's where the next few rules come in. Rules 4 through 6 are all about dealing with that negative energy, inside and out. Rule #4 is no bad apples on the bus. which means surrounding yourself with good vibes, positive people. You got to be picky about who you hang with because negativity, it's contagious.
It's like that saying, right? You become like the 5 people you're around most. Hang out with a bunch of negative Nancys, it's going to rub off, no way around it.
Exactly. It's not about like judging people or ditching them for no reason. It's just being real about how other people affect our energy and setting boundaries when we need to.
Which goes right into rule #5, don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. We can't force people to change or be positive if they don't want to. Like, you can offer them a seat, be supportive, but it's their call if they get on board or not.
This one really hit home for me,
Yeah.
It's easy to fall into that trap of trying to change people. But we can only really change ourselves, what we do, how we react. Trying to force your good vibes on someone who's not having it, that's just going to lead to frustration.
Yeah, been there. It's about respecting where they're at while still protecting your own energy. And rule #6 takes it a step further. Post a sign that says, no energy vampires allowed on your bus. You got to set those boundaries, Protect your positive space.
I love that image. So
Oh.
good. It reminds you that it's okay to look out for your own well-being, your own energy. That's not selfish. It actually helps you be more there for yourself and other people in the end.
It's like realizing your energy is valuable, and you've got to protect it from those negative vibes. But it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff, right? It's about actually growing that positive energy inside you, finding that joy.
You got it. That's where Rule 7 and 8 come in, all about the power of enthusiasm. And get this, love. Before you think, love, what's that got to do with anything? Think about it. When you really love what you do and the people you're with, doesn't it show in your work, how you treat people, just your whole vibe?
Totally. When you're passionate and into it, it's contagious.
Yeah.
And rule #7 gets into that, how enthusiasm just draws people in. It's like enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride.
And it has to be real, Not faking it or anything. It's about finding that real passion, that spark inside you. When you do, it spreads. People feel it and it picks them up too.
So true. Bringing that good energy to everything you do, at work, creative stuff, even just hanging out with people. And speaking of energy, what about that whole thing with the heart's electromagnetic field? So wild.
Right. The Institute of Heart Math has done some amazing research on this. Did you know that your heart's electromagnetic field is actually thousands of times stronger than your brain's? And get this, it doesn't just stay inside you, it goes out and actually affects the people and even the place around you.
So you're saying our emotions are literally contagious. That makes so much sense why being around positive, happy people feels good, and negative people just bring you down. It's like our hearts are talking to each other all the time, whether we realize it or not.
It really makes you think how we're all connected and that energy matters. Which leads to rule #8, love your passengers. We usually think of love as romantic, right? But this is about expanding that love, being more compassionate, leading with your heart in all parts of life.
Okay, so how does that work at work? What's loving your passengers look like in an office, for example?
Think about creating a culture where people feel appreciated, respected, supported. Noticing what your team is doing well, celebrating wins, being there for them when things are tough, really listening to them, being kind, making them feel like they belong.
So creating a space where people feel valued, not just like cogs in a machine, right? And it's more than just being nice. It's really caring that your team is doing well, realizing their success is your success too.
Right. And when people feel appreciated and supported like that, they do better work, they're more productive, they come up with better ideas, they go the extra mile, work well together, and bring their own unique talents to the table. Love, real love, it actually makes everyone more successful together and on their own.
That's awesome. So we've talked about fueling ourselves with positive energy, avoiding the negative stuff, even using love as a driving force. But what about finding that deeper meaning? What keeps you going even when things get tough?
Yeah, it's like we're so busy trying to get somewhere that we forget to enjoy where we are right now, Finding that joy in the moment, that's huge.
Totally. And that takes us to the last rule. Rule #10, the simplest one. Have fun and enjoy the ride. Seems obvious, but it's easy to get caught up in all the craziness of life, always working towards something, that we forget to just be happy right now. It's so true. There's this study in the book that really got me thinking. They talked to a bunch of 95-year-olds, asked them what they'd do differently if they could do it all again, and guess what one of the biggest regrets was?
Okay, I'm intrigued. What was it?
Not having enough FUN. They wish they'd just enjoyed themselves more, taken more chances, just relaxed and enjoyed the ride. Makes you think, right?
For sure. Life is happening right now,
yes.
today. We can't wait for someday to be happy.
Exactly. Find those little bits of joy and be grateful for them, even when things are nuts. Laugh more, don't worry about being perfect. Celebrate those little wins, it all matters.
And it's not just about us being happy either. When we are, it spreads, like a ripple effect of good vibes. Absolutely. We create a better atmosphere for everyone around us when we're having a good time. So we've covered a lot about the energy bus. What's the one thing you really want listeners to take away from this book?
I think the biggest takeaway is that we have a choice. Like George in the story, we can focus on the negative, let fear and doubt call the shots, or we can choose that positive energy, see challenges as chances to grow, and make things better for ourselves and everyone around us.
Love it. And it's a journey, not a finish line. But if we can work these 10 rules into our lives, we can start to see things differently, power ourselves up with positivity, and become the drivers of our own buses, like for real.
It's realizing we get to choose our thoughts, how we react to stuff, everything. We have that power. It's about taking control of our energy and using it to build the life we want.
Exactly. One last thought for everyone listening. Imagine if you went into every conversation, every single thing you do, as a chance to share that positive energy with the world. How would that change your day, your week, even your whole life? Something to think about.
Such a good thought to end on. Remember, it's all about the journey, and it's way more fun when you've got that positive energy driving you. Until next time, keep those good vibes flowing.